So hello YouTube, what I have in front of me is Pioneer DDJ-RB, R I believe stands for record box. And the reason why I have it in front of me is because somebody spilled some, well I don't know, coke or whatever over the faders, and faders are fucked up at the moment. So I'll be repairing that and I'll be showing you how to repair it as well. This is almost an unboxing. Now to be fair, faders look, well, I guess they look okay. But, well, we'll see. I think that this thing will be actually quite easy to disassemble. But you know what? Before I start, I'll be connecting this thing to my record box, because I do have well, this thing does not even have the power supply. Cool, I guess. I actually have a record box. I was planning on using it, but then I gave up in the end. So let's connect to the record box and let's see. Let me just log in. Yeah, you know what, this screen is glossy, I'm sorry for that. But if I turn on the mixer, as you can see, these two faders look pretty fucked up, and they are... nothing actually happens when I move them. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but... so you see, when I actually move them, nothing happens. So I'll try to clean this thing and see what all happened. So I'll show you how to disassemble it and try to make this thing function. So I do hope that this thing is easy to disassemble. I mean, this should be relatively easy. Anyway, you know what? I'll get a better screwdriver. Now let's see whether this one will be... definitely. Okay, so I think that these are all of the screws and they are of the same size, so that is always nice. Let's see if I can just pull this thing up. It would be so nice if this thing was easy. Oh boy. Well, something is unstuck in here. Okay, so this already looks way better than the previous one, so I'll have to remove all of the knobs. Okay, these faders are so hard to remove. This is insane. And because there is something very sweet in here, so I'm guessing this is coke. Oh boy, this thing has been... I don't know whether you can see it or not, but yeah, this is horrific. This thing has been used in a professional manner, so yeah. Okay, we'll see whether now I'm not quite sure how I'm going to remove these three, because this is insane. So to remove the fader, you actually need to pull this thing up, this white from the sides, this white part, and now you just pull the fader. So there is a trick to it, but and I'm not quite sure why. And then you just need to well, press this thing. So you place your screwdriver in here at this white part, and you just push this thing up. So I'm not quite sure why they made it like that, but there you have it. Now all three have been removed. Now let's disassemble the well, the bottom part. You know, there are a lot of screws, but hey. So there are arrows in here. Basically need to remove the screws where the arrows are. So okay. And if I can, yes, awesome. Now I will be disconnecting these ribbon cables. Okay. One in here. Basically you just pull, and I'll be placing this thing in here, and now I need to remove, well, all of the screws again. To be honest, they didn't think about repairability. I'm not quite sure why all of these consoles have so many screws. And again, all of the screws are of the same size, so that is nice. I will be removing this thing as well, just so that I can remove the plastic without bending it too much. Okay, I think that I should probably be able just to pull this thing up now. So the faders are in here, and which one is master? So they're actually quite, they're labeled quite nicely, so that is cool. And I'll need to remove this one master because it is faulty, and these two. I'll need to remove the solder from here, so these two, and these four. Let's disassemble it and let's try to clean it. So yeah, let me show you again what I will be removing. So, nope, these two and these four. And again, these four and these two. Let's do that. So this thing should be, yeah, as you can see, this thing is now quite easy to remove. So these two, and I need to remove the master, which is this one. So 4 plus 2. Let's remove that one, and we'll go from there. So this thing has been unsoldered as well, so I'll need to just a touch of iron in here. And there we go. So first of all, let's disassemble the faders. Now I do like to mark just the position of everything, so Sharpie. I guess this is the easiest way. And you know what, let's mark this one as well. For example, this one will mark here. Okay. So the next thing I'll need to disassemble this is actually my bucket with screwdrivers. So there are a couple of latches which you need to well, loosen, I guess. Okay. This thing is actually quite hard to remove, so I guess this means that it's actually made out of good material, so that's cool. Okay, I can remove this thing. And basically I just need to pull this thing up, try not to fuck it up, and there you have it. This thing actually only needs a good cleaning, and this thing will be problem solved. As you can see, there is some debris in here. Yeah, okay. So the next thing I'll need is 99% alcohol, which is sold for other purpose these days, and some Q-tips. So I don't know whether you can see it, but this thing is wet, so I'm guessing that that is the reason why this crossfader was not working. I'm sorry, fader, but I will be cleaning it anyway, so you know. So some alcohol. As you can see, this thing is a bit dirty. And it's already in perfect condition, and this thing as well, so yeah. Try not to press it too much to screw it up, and you can always move these metal parts up a bit, so it'll make a better contact, I guess. Okay, and basically that is it. Job done. So if you're having problems with this thing, you can use pliers and just, you know, move it a bit. That way it will have more space. So yeah, my battery died on my camera and I needed to well, hook it to the power supply. Anyway, basically that is it. It's that easy. You need to observe where you drew the lines, and place everything back. Now all you need to do is actually put this thing together. And that is it. This is the procedure for both of the well, faders. So now that this thing is done, the next thing I need to do is try to clean this thing. And this thing will be a bit of a bigger hassle, I think. I've never cleaned it, but we'll see. Anyway, this is the completed fader, and this is the other one. Okay. I'm guessing it's the same, but you know, who knows. I don't think that you need to mark anything in here. Maybe just a... Okay, it's relatively easy, and again, some swabs, and again, just to clean this thing from the inside. It's actually that easy. And this thing, however, be very gentle with this thing, because if you screw up the contacts, you will, well, let's just say it won't work. And just press it down, and basically that is it. And now all I need to do is solder this thing back in place, and well, let's hope it works. So again, just place it inside and solder it back. Okay. There's one, there's two, yes, there's three, and there is four. So there you have it. Now I need to put back in the faders. And again, this is very sticky. I should probably clean this motherboard with alcohol. So basically all I did was just press this thing in, and I will be soldering it, and let's see whether this thing will work or not. And to be honest, the best solution for this thing is actually buying new faders. Since everything these days is halt, you know, to a dead stop, this is, I guess, a good solution. So yeah. And there you have it. This thing has actually been soldered. So let's see whether this thing will work or not, right? I'm back. Let's connect everything. And, well, we'll see what will happen, you know. I hope that it will work, but, you know, who knows. But it should, definitely. So first of all, I will be placing this thing back, this plastic, and the 3 screws. Now I won't be actually putting everything back together, you know, until I test it to see whether this thing is actually working properly or not. Because if it's not working properly, then I need to probably replace the faders. So I will need to put in the, well, these ones in here anyway. Oh well, we'll see. This is actually quite easy to install. You just need to press it, and that is not, and you know, you cannot fail much because, you know, and you cannot connect second cable to the, well, third place and whatnot. Okay, you know what? Let's screw this thing for the time being. Just this screw. One in here and one in here. And I'm gonna turn on my laptop to see whether this thing is actually functioning or not. So start the record box and let's see whether, well, let's see what will happen, you know. As you can see, this thing is actually working perfectly. So there we have it. It was just a matter of cleaning it. So yeah, let's hook everything back together, and that should be it for well, this repair. I guess it is quite easy to disassemble, but I don't know, I guess it is okay. If you like this video, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, whatnot. If you did not, you know what to do. Well, yeah. Seriously, one of the bloody screws. So I found out where the screws that I was looking for are. They are in here, so I removed them from here and here and placed them to their rightful place, and now everything is back as it should be. So yeah, finally. So to put the faders in, you know, to put the caps of the faders in, you just need to have this plastic, put it on one side or another, like this, and there is actually only one way you can put it, and there is a little gap on this side, as you can see, and this little plastic needs to go there. So basically you just put it in, and this thing, this thing needs to go where the that arrow is, and that's it. This thing is actually done. So yeah, my screws were on the you know what, I'll clean this thing a bit because this thing is sticky. So yeah. Also, I've noticed that this is alcohol, and this paint job is kind of yeah, falling apart. So, oh well, I guess for the price of the controller, it's not even that bad. So let's screw everything back in, and again, that's pretty much for this video. If you did like it, please consider liking it. If you did not, well, you know what to do. Consider subscribing. If you have any questions, please ask them down below, and yeah, until the next time, cheers.